Welcome back to the Aberdeen series, everyone. This is a very big episode because you might not have expected it so soon at the start of season 4, but we are in a cup final. We might bring back a trophy that we haven't won before, and that'll be a great way to kickstart our season. I'll explain everything about how we got there in a second, but first, let's run the intro and get right into it. Hello everyone, Jake here. Welcome to another Aberdeen episode. Hopefully you're all doing great. As you can see, we're in December. A lot of time has passed since you've last saw us in season 4. We've had Champions League games and it's really heated up in the UCL. We've also had a league season where we've maybe not been as good as last year, but the title race is definitely a close one. We're in a cup final today. We're carrying on in another cup competition as well. You'll watch us play 2 matches. And I won't speak about it too much yet, but we've signed a player that's going to join next episode who I think might be our best ever player, and he's only 17. Our scouts have done us a wonder. But yes, before we get on to any of that, I'd like to ask you guys, if you could smash the like button for me, I'd really appreciate it. It will help push these videos out to as many people as possible. It takes a few seconds, it's free, and it helps support the channel. Comment down below anything you'd like. I'll read them all and get back to them at some point. Whether it's something about the series or anything at all, I'll read them all. And the last one that I want to talk about is obviously subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But what I want to say is a massive, massive thank you to you guys, because we've just hit 15,000 subscribers after the last video went out. And it is just absolutely insane to me that we could possibly hit that number. When I first started, I would make videos like my Vitesse series, which I absolutely loved. I mean, I've chatted all this rubbish before, but I'd get like 5-10 viewers, and I was massively happy with that. Now we're at the point where we're regularly getting like 1,000 viewers every episode. All you guys keep coming back for more. You interact in the comments, you like, and we've got to the point where we've got 15,000 of you subscribed. Never would have imagined I'd reach that goal. I know it's not a massive milestone in terms of like your 10Ks, your 100Ks, but to me, it's a big deal in the Football Manager world. It feels quite tough to, go viral and grow that way. So the fact that I feel like these 15,000 people are people that enjoy the content and like being here, that does mean quite a lot. But yes, 15,000 subscribers we have hit. Thank you all for that. Soon, hopefully to be 20,000, and maybe even my goal, a bit of an ambitious one, is to be as close to 25k as possible before the start of FM24. It's a long way to go. It's my birthday in a few weeks, so this was a nice little target to reach before then. But let's get back to Aberdeen. Enough with the soppy talk. You can see we've improved some of our facilities recently, and our training facilities are in the process of being upgraded. Our stadium's also being upgraded to a 25k capacity stadium, which is awesome. Everything in the club is going up. And that's also the case with our finances, which have allowed us to buy a lot of these new facilities. I mean, our balance is 12 million. We probably had 20 at one point, but because we are upgrading everything, we've obviously lost some of that balance. You'll also see our transfer budget has been increased since we last had it, and that's because we've been making a lot of cash. How is that the case, you might ask? Well, you get £2.5 million for every win in the Champions League, and you will see in the UCL, we are in 9th place, 6 games played with 4 wins, which is absolutely insane. I'll explain all of the results in a few seconds, but today we have a Premier Sports Cup final. This is the Scottish version of the League Cup, I believe, and we have Hibs in the final, which hopefully will be a winnable match. The Scottish Cup we are still in. The Champions League, of course, you can see us there in 9th. And then in the Scottish League, we are on 40 points, Celtic on 39, but they do have 2 games in hand on us and are unbeaten currently. So realistically, they are on top, but we're not too far away from them. And the reason that we're doing so well is because, well, we keep winning. Maybe not as much in the league this year because we're having to draw our focus to multiple different competitions, particularly the Champions League, and often we're having to put our best side out in the UCL. That then means maybe in the next game in the league we haven't got as strong a side out and we lose a couple. But after you saw us beat Luzern in the last episode, we won most of our matches. We beat Salzburg 2-1 away, Ross McCrory getting a winner. It was amazing scenes in Austria, brilliant to watch. We then lost 4-1 to Liverpool. It is what it is. It's Liverpool. You'd expect that to happen. We drew a couple games, won a couple games. We then drew to Lazio 3-3. We were 2-0 down. We ended up being 3-2 in front, and then Badiashile got a late goal for them. We've been winning outside of that. We knocked out Celtic in this League Cup. We then had Antwerp away and won 3-2. Duke, Wilhelmsen and Pereira on the score sheet there. We then beat Feyenoord 3-1 with Wilhelmsen scoring 2 and Pereira scoring 1. And it means we are now in this position where we play Hibs today in the hopes of winning the Cup. We also play St Johnstone Johnstone, which will hopefully be a win in the league. After that, we've got Bayern Munich, which we won't get anything from, let's be honest, and then Napoli at home, and maybe we can get something against Napoli, because us at home are a very strong side, but realistically, I think we might have qualified for the knockouts. It might be a bit too early to say, but we're doing very well. We're just outside of the top 8 who get auto qualification. I think then everyone else from like 9th down to 20th odd, I could be wrong, but I believe they have to play each other in the hopes of getting to that next knockout stage. So it's just insane that we're even in this kind of position. I thought we'd be down here with your Luzerns, Copenhagen's, Antwerps and Hoffenheims, but no, we are flying in the UCL, and I'm delighted to say that's the case. And we've got so many players firing and doing well for us. In particular this year, Wilhelmsen is doing great. It's led to a lot of interest in him from big clubs. I believe it's currently Anderlecht who want to sign him. I'm obviously wrong, it wasn't Anderlecht, it's Club Brugge and Zultveregum. Now he does have a release clause, as do many of our players, so that's something that we need to worry about. But I think with our scouting network, if any of these guys did leave, we could likely replace them very well. But yeah, everyone in the squad doing great. Let's get on though to this match against Hibs. Let's pick our best side and hopefully come out with a win. So, first and foremost, Neverstitch in goal. At right back, I would like Goncalo Estevez, who's having a great year. Centre back, I would preferably like to have Beso and Caro as our defensive line. Heldesar is fine, Sherendor is fine, Ibra and Kozlowski is great, Vollemark, Pereira and Wilhelmsen. That's exactly what I would have gone for. Let's just get a few extra players on the bench that might be able to help us out. You know what? I think we are good here. I think that's everything that we need for this game. So hopefully we can get a win. You might remember we lost in the cup final of this competition, I think last year. And it was the first chance we really had of a trophy, and it felt like we were never going to win something. And obviously we went on to win the league and the Scottish Cup. So if we can now add the Scottish League Cup title to our cabinet, we'll have won all of the domestic trophies possible in this save. So let's hope we can do that with Aberdeen today. Kozlowski's an interesting one. You saw we signed him last episode. He's been okay for us, not great yet. He's not fully settled in, but he's still a very talented player and someone that we're very lucky to have here at Aberdeen. But realistically, in terms of his in-game performances, yeah, he's not quite settled just yet. But Pereira is on fire in the Champions League, and our attacking line in general are all doing very well. But here's the first highlight. 17 minutes in, Ibrahimovic with a long-range free kick just grazes the top of the goal. That's a good start from us. Looks like it's going to be a bright start from us as we have another opportunity now, 20 minutes in. We're in the offensive side on that left-hand side there. It falls out to Goncalo Estevez, Sherendor. Ibrahimovic goes for goal and it sneaks in. He is in great form right now and he hits his 7th of the season. We just gave him a new contract as well. We're paying him a few thousand extra a week. The reason for that is I wanted to up his release clause. We're not at the level yet where we can completely get rid of release clauses in these players' contracts, but he's now got a release clause of about £20 million or so, and most of our players' release clauses are sitting at 15 to 20 million. So if any of them do get activated, we are making a nice bit of cash. But a lot of our players like Pereira, Wilhelmsen have release clauses that I've tried to negotiate out of their contracts, but they're not having it. They want, double the money in their current contract, and they only want to up your release clause by like $1 million or so, which doesn't seem worth it to me. If I'm going to give someone a big deal, I want it to be because A, they're going to have a huge release clause, or B, we can get rid of it. But when I start the contract negotiations, it's always in there as a unnegotiable, must have a release clause maximum of like 15 million. And it's very annoying. But like I say, I do think if we lost any of these players, we could recruit very well because I think our scouting network is now set up perfectly. But I'd love a second goal in this game, and it looks like we might be building towards it with Kozlowski, Wilhelmsen, great football. Pereira's in, the goalkeeper doesn't come out well enough. Pereira is left with an easy chance, one-on-one, and puts it into the corner. That was great football to create the goal. A little bit of interplay between Kozlowski, Pereira, and was it Wilhelmsen as well? Yeah, he just goes into Wilhelmsen, who knocks it back. Great pass from Kozlowski, and Pereira scores again. He loves that kind of finish for us. As that inside forward on the left, we're 2-0 up, and it looks like we might be bringing the trophy home to Aberdeen, our first ever League Cup title. And if we could absolutely blow Hibs away here, it would be brilliant to see. And we go very close to getting a third. Wilhelmsen just knocking it onto the crossbar by the looks of it there. But the highlights are not going to stop. We're obviously desperate here to get a big win. There's nothing saying Hibs couldn't score twice, but I think if we scored 3 goals, it'd be very, very hard for them to come back. And it is Wilhelmsen, rounds a goalkeeper, it gets blocked, and it is cleared away. But we're looking so dangerous. Everybody is playing so well, and it's exactly what you would expect, though, at this stage. The quality of player in our team is way better than that of a team like Hibs. The only team that compares to us in terms of player quality, I'd actually say we've surpassed past Rangers now, but I would say Celtic obviously are that side, and I'll prove that to you now actually. Something I checked the other day. If you go to the season preview of your competition, you can see what's regarded as the best 11 in the league. We had no one in this best 11, but over time Pereira has made his way into it, which is great. But other than that, you can see it's all Celtic other than 2 Rangers players and 1 Aberdeen player. So clearly Celtic are just considered to be this absolute mega team that no one is anywhere near, yet we are managing to compete with them at the top of the table. So I think we're doing a great job here at Aberdeen, even to be close to Celtic in the table, to beat them to the title last year. Phenomenal, really. And we might even get to the UCL knockouts this year, which will be great. And I think really cements us as a Champions League team, which is something we're going to have to get used to because, of course, I said this series will end when we win a European trophy. Obviously, it started off as just the league title, but then eventually became a European trophy. Pereira's just scored. We'll talk about that in a second. But what I wanted to say is because we've set our sights on a European trophy and now we're always in the Champions League, it's going to have to be the UCL that we win. I don't think it can be Europa League or Conference League because every year it seems like now we might be in the Champions League, and the way we're playing at the minute, I don't see us not being in it because we're better than, 50-60% of the teams in that UCL group apparently. But what a goal this was. Again, Kozlowski playing a brilliant ball through the middle, finds Wilhelmsson, a nice incisive pass. Pereira finds a space. He is on fire, doing so well, and I don't think we'll be able to hold on for him for too much longer unless we can get rid of his release clause. He's also got one of about 15 million, so if we did lose him, we are going to be making a nice bit of cash. But overall today, you can see the attacking lineup is doing great. Everyone in the forward areas of our pitch are on very high average match ratings. Nothing against our defence either, but we've really controlled the game here today. Here's Kozlowski, a brilliant ball through to Ibrahimovic, who goes for his second. It's saved. Wilhelmsson taps it in, possibly offside, but what a brilliant incisive ball that was from Kozlowski. He's starting to settle in. Criticised him at the start of this episode, and now he's trying to show you guys what he's made of. Nearly creating a great goal there. The goal has been disallowed, but I think that would be a good time to make some changes actually. 3-0 up after 60 minutes. Let's wait a few more and then we'll get some players off. Purely for the fact of keeping players fit and not tired, I'm going to bring on Hancock, and also Ross McCrory can come on there. We're also going to take off Heldesar for Jack McKenzie. We'll get Connor Barron on for Ibrahimovic, and then I think Vollemark can come off. Duke can come on. That's 5 substitutions, 5 players on the pitch to hopefully help us out. And I'm hoping we'll just be able to cruise away to the 3-0 win. And we get an injury. Damn it. Just after I've made all of my substitutions, seems to happen every time. I need to stop myself doing that, but it's a thigh injury to Wilhelmsson. We'll play the last 20 without a striker. Not ideal. We'll probably still be able to score somehow, but just really hoping now that that isn't a dampener on the game and he gets injured for a long time. It would be very harsh if so. Although, with the January transfer window coming up, if he's injured, maybe people won't try and sign him. So that could be a positive in some way. But who knows? Hopefully he isn't injured, of course. But his there do go close to getting a goal. It's Liam Scales, who was with us for the first 2 seasons of this save, heading in from close range. But it's a strong save from Neverstitch. They're going to go for another goal, but no matter what here, we are getting the win, even if Hibs end up coming out with another goal. Connor Barron heads it away, only as far as the Hibs player, who's going to try and put it back into the box. We're pressing out, trying to press the ball onto Scales. If Duke can win it, there's a big empty space for him to run into. But it is Lane. It's a header just over the bar. We keep that 3-0 advantage. I would love a clean sheet in a cup final, but with 10 men on the pitch, there's not too much we can do right now. But here is Mason Hancock, bringing the ball out of defence. If we made it 4, it'd be very embarrassing for Hibs, to be honest. And it's McCrory to Connor Barron to Estevez. Duke needs to show his pace here. He's not long been on the pitch. We have got it to him. He goes back to Sharon Dorr. Sharon Dorr to McCrory. We're controlling it nicely. A nice ball out to Jack McKenzie at left back. He comes into Kozlowski. He's going to go through to Pereira for a hat-trick. Oscar Pereira in the cup final. He's just missed. Just hit the bar. Very close for Pereira there. Nearly gets the hat-trick. It isn't to be, but we do win 3-0. We win the cup. The League Cup is ours. And here we go. It's time to pick the trophy up. Our side comes up. Another domestic trophy won. And I think slowly but surely, we are becoming a legend here at Aberdeen. It's going to be Ross McCrory to lift it. Are we going to lift it? There we go. We've won it. We've won the League Cup. Let's move on now. I wish we had won it the other year to win the treble, but it's a great start to our season. We deserve these moments, and that is hopefully going to please the board and the fans alike. And it's great to have a trophy so early on in the season because now we know we are set up for success. It was Hibs that beat us last year in the final, so we get our revenge. Pereira was brilliant, but now we need to move on to our game against St Johnstone, which is in 5 days' time, so I'll use the rotation team. Wilhelmsen's out for 3 to 4 weeks, which is a big loss, but it isn't the worst it could have been. He could have been out for a lot longer. Everyone's praising us. We're doing great. We need to drop some praise to Pereira, and I will see you guys when the next game is ready. Okay, it's time for the game against St Johnstone. We're away from home, but we are going for a pretty much fully rotated team. Nothing much has happened since that last game that we played. No real updates, but we are going for Neverstitch in goal yet again. Fisher, Morrison, Hancock and McKenzie as a fully rotated defence. A fully rotated midfield as well with Clarkson, McCory and Barron. And then a fully rotated attack with Duncan, Vinny and also Duke up top. Hopefully this team is still good enough to get us over the line. I'd like to think we are. I am fairly confident. One thing I should talk about though is with the January transfer window coming up, any players with expiring contracts are obviously available to talk to clubs for free, and there's a couple of players that we aren't really decided on yet who might be in that situation that I might be willing to let go. The first one being our captain, Ross McCory. Love the guy, but I just kind of feel like he's slipping behind the level of some of our other players, but he is super versatile. He is a good talent. I just don't think he's really at the level anymore where we necessarily need to keep him and could probably upgrade upon him. So we'll see what happens there. I'm open to keeping him, but we'll just kind of keep an eye out, see how the squad develops. And our new player that is coming in is a midfielder. So I need to make sure that with him coming in, there is still some space at least for McCory, but realistically, I think this might be his last season. The other interesting one is Bojan Miovski, who is of course our backup striker who scores 20 goals a season still, and even when he's a backup striker, still probably scores more than most of our other players at the club. His contract is expiring. He's a very talented player, still only middle age as well, so a lot of years left ahead of him. But for me, I feel like we might be able to improve on him. A lot of it depends on what happens with Wilhelmsen, but we do have the young Alfie Bavidge out on loan, who's been with us since the start, and he is a very good young striker now, ready to make his mark in the first team. But with the likes of Duke, Wilhelmsen and also Miovski, it's kind of hard to get him any game time, so maybe it's time to say goodbye to Miovski at the end of this year. We'll see, but maybe we're going to need him in this game because we're 45 minutes in against St Johnstone and we've done absolutely nothing. Half time has came and gone, but we are making our way forward with Ryan Duncan to Duke, who I thought might be in one-on-one there, but he just didn't have enough pace to get there ahead of the on-Russian St Johnstone goalkeeper, who, even though we've had loads of possession, had the only chance of the match so far with that free kick. But we are pressing onto them now, although they've played it out very nicely, and it looks like it might actually be a St Johnstone attack. Although Mason Hancock has other things to say, sweeps the ball up and finds Jack McKenzie. Jack McKenzie into Ross McCory. Nice ball forward from him to Duke. Oh, what a goal that would have been. A left-footed volley, first time, over his shoulder, nearly puts it into the top right. Doesn't quite work out for him, and I am going to make a change here by bringing off Duke for the player we just spoke about, Miovski. Vinny can also come off for Odebert here, and then we will take off, is it Connor Barron that's not doing great? It is. Right, let's bring on Guy Buer there, and then also Jack McKenzie, a poor game from him. We'll bring on Helder Sarr. Darnell Fisher's going to swap with Ross McCory. I'm then going to put Guy Buer as the box-to-box, and then we'll bring off Darnell for, I think, Arjen Ibrahimovic to hopefully give us a little bit of extra oomph in that midfield, a bit more creativity on the pitch, and hopefully we can get something here in the later stages. 56 minutes on the clock. We're in an attacking position on the right. We're going to play it in from McCory, but it's cleared away by St Johnstone. And now Morrison makes a good challenge there to win the ball back. Speaking of, the Morrison is on loan from Celtic, a very good young centre-back. We have an option to buy him for 7 or 8 million. Right now, I'm considering not going for it. As much potential as he has and as much ability as he has, he kind of just isn't playing great on the pitch. So, I mean, he's doing fine, don't get me wrong, but I'm not desperate to splash 8 million on him. Instead, I think we let him go back to Celtic at the end of this year, see how it plays out, whether he gets loan listed again. If so, I'll bring him in. If he gets transfer listed, I'll go for it. But to pay 8 million might be a bit much at this stage. It all depends on other sales, I suppose. But here is Odebert. Odebert scores, and I think he was offside. But the young Frenchman on that left-hand side as an inside forward is starting to score more goals, and maybe it's time for Vinny to go, because Vinny is our backup inside forward behind Pereira. But actually, I feel like Odebert is the man this year. When he is playing, he does look quite dangerous. It took a while for him to get going at the club, but now he is firing. And even though that was offside, there's a really good cut through there. And our inside forwards today are really making their mark. And here is another highlight in the 60th. And it is us on the ball. We do manage to deal with a long ball forward from St Johnstone. Morrison's going to carry it out to McCrory. McCrory's going to go long and try and play through Miofsky, who tries to run past the defence, but it's well defended by them. And it's looking like one of them games where we might not be able to make the opening. But saying that, all we need is one chance, and I'm sure we'll be able to finish it. Are they being sent off? That's harsh. A striker for St Johnstone is being sent off for handball. He was already on a yellow, and then it looks like he just had his hand in the air, but you never really see that in FM. Very, very strange. 65 minutes in, here's an Ibrahimovic free kick. It comes into Guy Buer, who heads it just over. It does have that feel to it, like we're not going to score, but because they are down to 10 men, I'm going to go very attacking. We have used all of our substitutes now, I believe. Yes, we have. But hopefully with all of those players on the pitch, we can create just one chance is all we need. But today, we've been starved of that. Despite all the possession, we can't seem to create anything meaningful. But we do have another chance here. We've given it away yet again. But then St Johnstone just hit it long. They haven't got much hope of actually scoring a goal here right now. We're going to try and come forward though. It's Miofsky on the ball across the box to Odebert, who taps it in. Oh, but he's offside. Not Odebert was, but Miofsky was from that run. And yeah, this is definitely going to be a 0-0. Calling it now. Nothing's going to go in this game. I mean, even though they are down to 10 men, just not happening for us right now. But we do have another chance. Maybe one final roll of the dice. It's Miofsky. He's through. Don't shoot from there. He has, and he's hit it way over. Not good enough, really. We're snatching at our chances. The timer's running low. There's 4 minutes of added time. And this is definitely points dropped. We should be winning this kind of game, particularly once they drop to 10 men. Maybe we'll do it. Leighton Clarkson, late corner in. Goes towards Odebert. It's headed away. Back to Clarkson. On the edge of the box to Ryan Duncan, who shoots. Hits the side net in. One of those days for us. But it's not over yet. Not over yet, guys. 3 points might still be on the table. There's a minute left on the clock, and we're getting another highlight. Is it just to end the game, or is there actually going to be one more chance in this? I mean, it is going to be to end the game, because Liam Morrison's just booted the ball out for no reason. What is going on? Really not good enough today. We've had the quality of player on the pitch to get by them, even with it being a rotated team. But you'll see this is the issue we're having this year when we're playing so many matches, with the Champions League, with the Cups, of course, that we are having to rotate in our league matches to make sure everyone stays fit and happy. But then we do lose a bit of quality. Like I say, though, that being said, this team is still way better than St Johnstone's. We should be winning. Don't know why we've gone back again there when there's only 10 seconds on the clock. I'll be having words with some of these players, but it is going to be time up. Yeah, 0-0. Poor from us today. Player of the match is apparently Liam Morrison. What's he got man of the match for? Playing it backwards? I don't know. We definitely should have won that match. Very disappointed in the whole squad, particularly our attacking options. Miofsky not doing enough, nor was Duke. And now we're 1 point behind Celtic. They've got 2 games in hand, so realistically, with the way they're playing, that's 7 points behind them. But we'll see how we get on here. Plenty of time left to go, and if we have to sacrifice the Scottish League to win the Champions League, which is obviously not happening, but if we did, I feel like we take the Champions League. It means more to the club in terms of finances, and also, it's the Champions League. So we'll see how that gets on. Hopefully we can make it into the knockouts. I'll play a few games and bring it back after the January transfer window. So I'll see you once that's done. We'll be playing Rangers, and maybe I'll show Napoli as well. Some great players hopefully to come in. A lot of work to do in the transfer window. Thank you for watching this one. If you have enjoyed, smash the like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.